I'm not asking you to come in and point out what's not working. I know what's not working. I don't need more of what's not working. I need to know, who are you and what is your passion? What are you willing, capable, able, ready to step in and do? We have shifted some of our cores, and I'm making a reinvention of our vision core. One of our principles is that we are a vision community. That everything we do is done first in a spiritual practice of visioning what is the highest and the greatest ideal of this Center for Spiritual Living Palm Springs and the mind of God. And then we sit quiet, very, very quiet, for a very long time. And we listen, and we feel, and we emote, whatever it is that that divine spirit wants for us, and the greatest and the highest good. Not what I want out of my personality, but what the divine wants for this center. So I'm reopening the vision core. And there's a pamphlet that's available, probably in the foyer, or maybe Mary has it, that we just copied this morning, that talks about the vision core, the responsibilities, the qualifications, the expectations. And there's a little form that you can fill out if you're interested in applying for being on this core. Not everyone will be on this core. Not everybody that wants to be on this core will be on this core. You have to meet the qualifications and the requirements and the expectations. You have to know that this is your passion, that this is your bliss, that this is going to be the core that is going to sit in the sacred, quiet stillness to hear the voice of God, to let us know what is our next step, where are we going, what are we going to achieve, how many steps will we have to go through in order to create our own light bulb. Whatever it's going to take, we will discover, we will reveal it, we will know what it is. There are things that are happening in this center today, this week, last week, next week, that you may not be conscious of how it got here, but it has been part of our visioning. It has been part of what has been set into motion by Spirit, and it's going to take whatever time it's going to take in order for it to get there. There are a lot of things that need to be done here. And those of us that are sitting in this row of leadership on the core council and some of the other cores, we're well aware of all the needs that have to be done here. We don't need you to tell us what they are. We would like your solution. We would like your participation. We would like your engagement. We would like you to be owners of the success of the Center for Spiritual Living Palm Springs, even though you may not know yet how that's going to unfold. But it is. Trust me, it is unfolding in every moment, in every day. We have been brought up in a world that has gone through some major transformations in the time that human beings have been living on this planet. Quite simply, there was a time in which we all believed that the world was flat, that if you sailed off into the horizon, you would fall off and that would be it. And there were a few brave individuals who began to understand that there was something different, and they thought that it was more global than it was flat. And so they set out against all odds with all sorts of doubt and fear and mistrust, and they proved something different. And today we have a super collider someplace over in Europe that has once again demolished the atom into even smaller particles than we had ever imagined before. Somebody knew it was there, but they want to call it the God particle. They think, oh, here it is. We finally found what unites and keeps the world together, the glue that brings it all together. At least we think so at this point. But it might just be a flat world. And maybe somebody else will discover an even more invisible particle. Because these things are invisible. You can't see them. Doesn't that sound like science of mind? It's invisible. You can't see it. But the law is there and it works all the time. The great scientists are looking at this and said, we have found the beginning of something new and something great. We don't know where this discovery is going to take us. We don't know what the ultimate is. Doesn't that sound like science of mind? But there is something out there greater than I am, greater than you are, greater than we are altogether, and it is a power in the universe. A power that is available to each and every one of us through the use of our imagination and our mind. That if we allow ourselves to get quiet and still long enough, that we can bring that power through the law of attraction. We can change any condition. We can heal any dis-ease, any illness. We can bring forth a greater sense of gratitude, joy, prosperity, and abundance simply by using the law. And if we're going to use the law, we have to use it all the time. You can't be willy-nilly with the law. You have to use it for the smallest thing in your life or for the greatest thing in your life, because it does not know size or time or space. It's the law. It has always been there, it'll always be there, and it always works for everybody regardless. And most of us are using it and we don't even know it. When we go off into that negativity and we dwell and we live in the low levels of our mind, that's what the law's working on. And then you wonder why there's more negativity, more lowness, more illness, whatever that's going on in your life. We come out of a tradition, out of a culture, out of a humanness that has always lived by mythology. And sometimes it shows up in what we call sacred scripture. So the Bible is a lot of mythology. It's a lot of, what's going on. Science has already disproven, probably 99% of the stuff that's written in the Bible. It's not true. There were no, huge floods that covered the entire planet. There probably is no ark sitting on top of some mountain someplace, even though people are still looking for it. There's probably a boat somewhere. But no way in consciousness of the human mind could one man possibly put together two of everything that's living on a little boat. Elephant alone, would cover it. And what would you do with termites? Science has disproved all of this. Now, the downside of that is that when we lose our mythology, and many of us are still living in a mythology, when we lose our mythology, we start to become, chaotic, because we no longer have something to hold on to. So you're going to have to prove your own truth. It's time for a new mythology. It's time for a new idea. It's time for a new way to live in the world. Are you ready to receive it? Yes. Yeah. Are you ready to have your success? Yes. Yeah. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a few minutes and we're going to go within. And we're going to get silent. And I'll guide you in. And then I'm going to give you some silence. And Al's going to do a little underscore. So just take a few moments, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and relax.